Welcome back to the Glacial Gold Hunter. We're here at a Minnesota creek and we're going to be finding some glacial gold today. Now this is a new creek for me. I've never been here before, so I'm going to have to scout around and try to find some low pressure zones where maybe some gold dropped off and take some test pans and see if there's any gold here. Right off the bat, I see an inside bend with a gravel bar, and that's a great first place to look. And it's already raining, so we'll see how long I stay, but let's get started. Now for tools, I'm keeping it really simple. I got my 1/4 inch classifier, a pan, a shovel, and a bucket. That's it. That's all you need. That's actually more than you even need. Right about here, I'm gonna just take a test pan.
Can't hear you!
Right on this gravel bar.
Can't hear anything!
Now the material right off the bat, it's a bunch of cobbles all the way down to fine sand. And usually when I find a good mix like that, it's good to test. There's just a little bit of black sand in there, but doesn't mean there's no gold. Let's see. There's no gold in that one, so we gotta keep prospecting. Alright, so I finally found my first speck. Tiniest speck you could ever see, but it's a speck. Right there in the middle is a tiny speck of gold. There's my finger for scale. Now that one speck is nothing to chase after. I'm not going to keep going right there per se, but that shows me there is gold in the stream, so in theory I'll be able to find a better string of accumulation. So I got to keep looking. Uh-oh, look at that.
The Bridge of Death!
Legend has it that a troll lives under the bridge that asks 5 questions.
Just 3 questions.
But if I can answer the 5 questions,
Just 3 questions.
I'll be able to pass.
Stop! Who would cross the Bridge of Death must answer me these questions 3. Ere the other side he see. What is your name?
My name is the Glacial Gold Hunter.
What is your quest?
To seek glacial gold.
What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
What do you mean? African or European swallow?
Huh? I don't know that.
Who do you know so much about swallows?
It's my job as the Glacial Gold Hunter to know so much about swallows.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So I don't know what the difference is. You can have one creek that has gold in pretty much every gravel bar, at least a couple specks. And then a few miles away, another creek of similar size, and it's not much of any gold in the gravel bars. I really don't know why. If it's not there, it's just not there. Maybe not a scientific answer, but maybe it's true. My waders have these snaps that are supposed to go around your belt to keep them up. But I wore my stretchy pants today, no belt.
When you are a man, sometimes you wear stretchy pants. It's for fun.
So the best I can do is kind of tuck them in the draw strap. Kind of holds them up, but not very well. gosh, there's just not a lot of black sand around here. Not a lot of gold either. Upstream to the next one. Now today is actually election day, so that'll tell you how long of a lag there is between shooting and editing my videos. Well, I'm just not having much luck finding gold in this stream. I won't tell you where it is, but its name rhymes with the end of a joke. That's your hint. But being the case, I can't really find much. I'm gonna go to a stream that I know I found gold, and hopefully we'll find some color by the end of the day. Twin Cities mining camp. So we're here at another stream, and this is actually the first location I ever made a video at. Looks like nobody's found it. I don't see any sign of other people digging here, so it's still my spot. That bone that may or may not be human is still here too. But let's sink a shovel in the ground and see if there's any gold that's still here. Now this is a big gravel bar in the spring. This is covered with water. The water's a lot lower now though, but I know gold accumulates in this churning up pile of gravel. You can see this is really quite sandy material. Mixture of rounded rocks, rounded gravel. But that really is pretty sandy. There's gold in it though. At least I think. Let's test. Look at that, right off the bat. Piece of glass. You know what that means?
I don't think that means what you think it means.
It's not even rounded glass. Right off the bat, there's way more black sand than there was at the other creek. But is there gold? Well, what the heck? There's no gold. Well, there's no gold in that particular spot in the gravel bar. I know there's gold in the gravel bar, so I just gotta find the string of it. So here's another sample in the gravel bar, and the cobbles are a little bit bigger and more plentiful. See if there's gold in that. And this pan has way more black sand than the last one. That means there's more heavies dropping out, so potentially a better chance of gold. Well, there's some gold. So there's a small speck of gold right there. And then two teeny weeny specks up there on that ridge. So when I first started prospecting, finding any color in the pan was super exciting. And it still is. I still love seeing those little specks. But because I've explored more, prospect more, I know there's better spots on this creek. So I'm gonna leave behind my original location and look for better ground, because I know there's some better ground here. So this spot right here, there's a long straight stretch and the water moves pretty quickly. And then right here, there's this big dip. And if you look close, you can see there's light sand being deposited right there, and then it grades into denser gravels all the way into this fast-moving water. So with that having a gradient of really big cobbles to light blonde sand, I feel like somewhere in here is going to be a good string of heavies and gold depositing. If I'm learning anything about prospecting, this is going to be a winner of a spot. Lots of black sand. And there it is. And that's an actual flake of gold right there. So this is a much better spot. It's still really tiny, but definitely a lot better to look at. So I might be able to take a few pans here and there and get like a better picture of where the concentrated stream is, and then dig along that. But time can always be an issue, so Now that I know there's a string of gold here, I'm just gonna start running a few buckets and see what we get. See, we got a nice mix. There's a little sedimentary rock, but then we got some igneous rocks, some granite, some quartz. Good stuff. Good glacial material. There we go, a nice full bucket. So now I'll speed pan that down. I brought a scooper today. Now, speed panning is a quick way to get through material. Once I have it classified here, I pan this down until I start seeing the black sand, and then I put another scoop right on top of it. You can get through material pretty fast. And down to the black sand. All that should stay in the pan. All the gold should stay in the pan. Gold is so heavy, it's kind of hard to dump out of the pan. A Menards bag can make a good raincoat for your camera. So here's the last pan of that bucket. There's a lot of heavy material in there. Alright, let's toss this back and see what the gold looks like. Ooh, I'm already seeing nice gold. There's some nice golden flakes right there. A couple more along the top. And then a bunch of little flakes over there. So in that one bucket, I see some nice pieces. And that's what makes it so fun. A lot of pans you don't find anything, but when you find those pans with those specks of gold, it's just cool. It's fun. It's not worth anything. You'll never make money doing it. But if you're the right kind of special, you'll have a lot of fun doing it.
You're not normal.
So I'll take that along with the black sand. That'll be my classified bucket. Clean that up when we get home. Bucket's empty. Let's fill it up again. Bucket number 2. I'm gonna really blow through this as fast as I can and see how much gold I have at the end of it. Some people just pan so fast and they still have gold at the bottom of their pan. As the flour gold wizard always says, it's a numbers game. The more material you can go through, the more gold you'll get. And if I take as much time as I've been taking to try to make sure I retain every single speck in the pan, I'm probably not going to get through as much material as I otherwise could have, which means I won't have as much gold in the end as I could have. So I'm going to try a little faster approach and we'll see what we get. There might be better pans than I'm using too that help me get through material faster. I know people like the Garrett Super Sluice pans because it has really deep ripples and they can get through material really fast. I don't even know what kind this one is. It's a cheap Amazon pan. Maybe I'll have to invest in some different pans and give them a try. So that's about half of the bucket. And I don't see nearly as much sand as I did the first time, so I wonder if I'm just slopping it out. I'm going to take a look and see if there's any gold. There is still gold there. So that's just half the bucket. And there's 4 really nice specks right there. And then some more specks along there. And it's way less material than I've been leaving behind. So even going at a lot faster pace, I'm still retaining, I think, the majority of the gold. So I can probably burn through pans faster than I've been doing. You can let me know what you think. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm just an enthusiast. I still got a lot to learn about all this gold hunting stuff. Well, there's the rest of the bucket. Let's see if there's anything in that. And there is. And the second half of the bucket still has some nice pieces of gold. And even some gold in the black sand. The rain is picking up. Should I do one more bucket?
Go for it. Go for it.
All right, I'll do one more bucket. So there's that whole bucket, speed pan down in record time. And we got some good gold out of it. Nice. Look at that piece of gold floating there. That's why you don't clean it up out in the field. You wait till you get home. But regardless of that floating piece, there's still some nice pieces in there. And there's still some pieces in the black sand. So I'm kind of liking the faster approach. Seems like it's working pretty well. If I can get through more material faster, I'll get more gold in the end. Right here is kind of a mound of where I was dumping it out of my pan. And I'm going to just check that and see how much gold is left behind. And then we'll weigh the costs and benefits. Fair amount of black sand. And there's actually a pretty nice piece of gold that was left behind. Well, I guess I'll figure out a balance. I don't want to go too fast and I'm dumping a good amount of gold out, but the faster I go, the more gold I'll take in. What's better? Anyway, I got one last thing to do. What's that? Fill my holes. There you go. Now it looks like nobody's been here. If you get into this hobby, make sure you're not making a mess out of all the cricks around. Don't cause any problems and people won't have a reason to write your freedoms away in the laws. Just keep things clean and restored. It's not that hard. So we got just a little bit of concentrates left. Let's go home and count up our specs. So we're back at headquarters and I pan that down a lot more than I typically do out there in the field. So I have hardly any concentrates left. So I'm just going to clean it up with my pan and we'll count the specs when we're done. Well, we didn't find a whole lot of gold, but we had a whole lot of fun exploring some new areas and learning a little bit more about some of the local rivers. It's always fun to add a few more specks to the vial. I'm gonna fill this thing someday. Thanks for coming along. Come on back for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.